Today, we're digging into the green stuff, vegetation. Ever wonder why some places have lush forests while others are covered in grass or even bare rock? It's all about natural processes and human activities that shape where plants grow and how these patterns change over time. Let's get started. First, let's talk about climate change, both natural and human influenced. Over thousands of years, Earth's climate has naturally changed, swinging between ice ages and warmer periods. These changes have a big impact on where different types of vegetation can grow. For example, during an ice age, glaciers spread and forests retreat, while in warmer periods, forests can expand. But these days, the big driver of climate change is human activity, like burning fossil fuels, which is causing the planet to warm up faster than ever. As the climate changes, so do the patterns of vegetation. Plants that need cool, moist conditions are being pushed out by those that can handle more heat and dryness. Next up is erosion of topsoil. Topsoil is like the VIP section for plants. It's rich in nutrients and essential for healthy growth. But when wind, water, or poor land management strip away the topsoil, it's like pulling the rug out from under the plants. Without this layer, it's much harder for vegetation to grow, leading to barren landscapes or the invasion of tough, less desirable plants that can survive in poor soil conditions. Now let's get into deforestation. Trees play a huge role in keeping ecosystems healthy, so when forests are cut down, it can lead to big changes in vegetation patterns. Deforestation can happen for all sorts of reasons, like clearing land for farming, logging for wood, or expanding cities. When forests are removed, the land often becomes more prone to erosion, and it can take a long time for new vegetation to grow back. In some cases, what grows back isn't the same as what was there before, like grasslands or shrubs instead of forests. Speaking of farming, let's talk about the use of chemical fertilizers and the practice of monoculture. Chemical fertilizers are like supercharged plant food, and they're used to boost crop yields. But over time, these fertilizers can build up in the soil and water, leading to pollution and changes in the types of plants that can grow. Monoculture, growing the same crop year after year, can also mess with vegetation patterns. It depletes the soil of certain nutrients, making it harder for a variety of plants to thrive. Plus, monoculture can make crops more vulnerable to pests and diseases, which can lead to even more chemical use and changes in the landscape. Another human activity that changes vegetation patterns is the grazing of domestic animals. When animals like cows, sheep, or goats graze in one area for too long, they can eat the vegetation down to the ground, leaving little chance for it to grow back. This overgrazing can lead to soil erosion, desertification, and the spread of invasive plants that animals don't like to eat. Over time, the land can become less productive and the natural vegetation patterns are altered. Finally, let's talk about invasive species. These are plants or animals that are introduced to a new environment, often by humans, where they don't have natural predators or competitors. Because of this, invasive species can spread rapidly, outcompeting native plants for resources like light, water, and nutrients. A famous example is kudzu in the southern United States, which grows so fast it's sometimes called the vine that ate the South. Invasive species can change entire ecosystems, pushing out native plants and altering the natural vegetation patterns in a big way. So what's the big picture? Natural processes like climate change and erosion, along with human activities like deforestation, farming practices, grazing, and the spread of invasive species, all play a role in shaping and reshaping the world's vegetation patterns. These changes can have huge impacts on ecosystems, agriculture, and even the climate itself. That's it for today's geography lesson. Next time you're out in nature, take a look around and think about all the factors that might have shaped the vegetation you see. The landscape is always changing, and we're a big part of that story.